Hey there, and welcome back to your end of week show for all things gaming news. I'm your host, Unlucky TZP, and this is GNN. Yeah, right, okay, but before we get started on that, here's what happened last week. Stardew Valley announced a pretty complex board game coming soon. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2 is coming to next-gen consoles as well as the Nintendo Switch. EA's third-person flop Anthem is the first game to die twice. Sony's winding down original game production at Japan Studios, the people behind Gravity Rush and Knack. Sony also held a state of play about games we pretty much already knew about. We also got a ton of Final Fantasy news, including the new Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade and a Battle Royale. There was a Pokemon Presents that showed us the Diamond and Pearl remakes and a new Pokemon Legends Arceus open world adventure. And with all that out of the way, let's go back to your regularly scheduled GNN. Hey guys, so first up we're talking about Ghost of Tsushima, but not in the way you might think. The two lead developers, being Nate Fox as the game director and Jason Connell as the creative director, are being named permanent ambassadors of the real island of Tsushima. In fact, according to this article by the Video Games Chronicle, it looks like the city is actually collaborating with Sony Interactive to make up a new tourism campaign based on the game. In fact, in a statement by the mayor of Tsushima, he says that even a lot of Japanese people don't know about the history, which is crazy. So this game actually did wonders for the story and history of Tsushima. I know a lot of people in the fighting game community have been waiting for Guilty Gear Strife to come out, but the game is unfortunately being delayed to June 11th, 2021. The game recently had an open beta, and it looks like they're taking criticism and notes from that open beta and deciding to push it back to make an overall better game. According to Polygon, EA is actually delaying the new Need for Speed game in favor of shifting Criterion to help support with Battlefield 6. According to Laura Meal, who's EA's chief studio officer, it looks like with the acquisition of Codemasters that happened earlier in the year, as well as pandemic working conditions, they're gonna at least put out one racing game this year. And this means that Criterion is free to help out on Battlefield, which apparently is shaping up pretty nice. Now this one came out of nowhere. Mediatonic, the people behind Fall Guys, are being acquired by Epic Games. Going through their blog, it doesn't necessarily seem like a bad thing. I mean, the game is still coming to Nintendo Switch and Xbox later this year, and remains purchasable on the Steam and PlayStation Store. There is this section with them mentioning free-to-play and with them having nothing to announce right now, but that has me curious if the game is eventually going to be free-to-play. I think it's like $20 right now, so it's not that much of a cost anyway, but that's interesting. The newest DLC fighter for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, Pyra and Mythra, launched, and it looks like Xenoblade of Japan released this cute little animation showing them, accepting the letter and getting ready to fight. I've seen people do crazy combos with these characters already, so I'm excited to see where exactly they end up on the tier list a few months down the road. And finally, I'm ending with a Nintendo Switch rumor. Now, typically I don't cover rumors on this channel, I tend to stick towards the facts, but this one's just so interesting. Bloomberg reports that a new Nintendo Switch model will have a 7-inch Samsung OLED 720 display, and it's coming later this year. Now, as everybody knows, the president of Nintendo, Satoru Furukawa, said that there's nothing to announce about Nintendo Switch hardware revisions this year. But Nintendo does tend to lie to us from time to time about upcoming hardware, just to get that surprise factor in. According to this article from Bloomberg, it says the new Switch model will have 4K resolution when docked for TV mode. Not necessarily natively, but more, it has the ability to be in 4K. Not that games will necessarily support this feature. This Samsung OLED screen will consume less battery life, offer a higher picture contrast, and possibly be faster in terms of response time when compared to the current Switch's display. And at 7 inches? Who could argue with that? You're pretty much erasing the bezel on the current Switch. I'm really interested to see where this goes. I'm just hoping for something a little more meaty in terms of the processing power. We know that the Switch is already kind of falling behind current gen consoles, and with next gen consoles basically already here, the Switch is kind of struggling to keep up with those current gen games. But hopefully with this revision, we'll see something like that. And with no new games releasing this week, guys, that's going to be it for me. Thank you so much for watching. And now that you're all caught up, make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel. And I'll catch you guys next Sunday.